And greetings again, and this time we are doing a somewhat different kind of game, Return of Obra Dinn, which apparently has us as an insurance inspector trying to see what happened to a ship somewhat in style of Mary Celeste, so something a bit different in that respect this time. So, something else of note also, that the more or less and less successful career in the Barents fishing proved to be that actually there's a bug in the game. It was instructed, restarted. That positively doesn't work. The tutorial node was still positioned in the same place that you can't reach, so no, not going to play it again unless skip the tutorial, which we already know how to do, so need to start it again, because you can't cancel the tutorial mission. That is also like great game design plus, really. So let's move towards today's game and see how we do. It's interesting because it has very retro aesthetic also overall. It's kind of unusual. So let's then see that we actually still get picture out of the game. There we go, and then we just switch over and start with the game proper. And yes, it's all black and white. It practically emulates like old Macintosh or such, where you had no color at all. So this has some amusing details, like if we look at the audio volume, comfortably loud, just above middle, in the middle, just below middle, quite quiet, barely audible, really kind of like comfortably loud, do think would give quite right volume for the stream to match with speech. And then we begin, and as said, it looks like it's running on an old Macintosh with the black and white display proper, so it's no grayscale. It does all dithering, which is very unusual. Have not seen many things done with dithering proper, so it actually kind of emulates the original Macintosh. Alright, lost at sea, clearly, and not very old ship. It was only 7 years old. 51 men. Last voyage to Orient, Cape Rendezvous unmet. Contact East India Company London office for inquiries or testimony. Alright, the good ship clearly has not been found then this far. Alright. Obra Dinn has returned. Dispatch to Falmouth immediately and prepare a full assessment. Attention, Chief Inspector, Insurance and Claims, London office. Honorable East India Company. As said, we are insurance guys, so yeah.
Company man woke me up. Said you'd need ferry to the Obra Dinn. Not many eager for that job. Seems a bit late if you ask.
I didn't.
What's in the box?
I don't know. I'll hoist it up in a few minutes.
Hey! How?
Carefully.
All right. So the game really does take the graphics design quite seriously. This would have been a bit much for the machinery of the time. So let's at least climb aboard the Obra Dinn. Yeah, the kind of like the color scheme and the design is magnificent, but you couldn't quite do this because it's practically a full 3D game. You couldn't quite do this on like 8 megahertz of 68K. Right, does our good man then like hoist the box up, or how are we going to deal with that? We do have like what a nice capstan, but we of course need to put the rope around it. Because we apparently also need to deal with the box, so there's some rope and more of rope. We can't interact with those though, so it's like we apparently can't do much else about it from the boat. Also ship's bell, nice. It's surprisingly good condition when we consider it floated to Falmouth with no crew. Like it's clearly a bit worse for the fear. Ah, hello there, Tiga. Good to see you. You of course also get a greeting. So yes, we have not yet found out that much about the Obra Dinn, other than gotten on board and wondered how to hoist also the box on board. So welcome to the stream, and hopefully you have had a good weekend this far, Tiga. So let's then see what we can do about the Obra Dinn. Yeah, that's actually do think the ship's bumps with the nice crankshaft and all, and still kind of confused. It doesn't look like there's much use returning to the boat. Right, the other button just zooms at things. Do not think this has any more controls beyond those. There's more rope. Also not possible to interact with the rope. Have not yet found any other item one can interact with than the stairs. Alright, hoi! And he wasn't too happy, so we need to apparently help with the box, but how? lift it yourself. Yeah, that helped a lot.
It's too heavy. Take it yourself or open it here.
Alright, it has at least a book in it. Alright, and can we somehow open that? It would help if knew what one is supposed to do here. The UI isn't very transparent overall. So, do wonder what one can do here at all. Alright. Catalogue of Advents and Tragedy, 1807. I trust that you now find yourself aboard the Obra Dinn. I expect this day to come, and my every intention was to tell the ship's strange tale within the page of this book. Regrettably, failing health has allowed me to produce only the basic outline that follows. Alright, the next few pages will seem bewildering at first. All will make sense in time. Use the pocketwatch to determine the identity and fate of everyone aboard. Complete each chapter accurately and return the book by guaranteed post to the French Office of Affairs in Morocco. The bargain chapter will remain unknown to you. I possess the details within, but have elected to keep them private for now. Henry Evans, alright. And then we have quite a few chapters. And most probably most of the contents are missing because we currently know nothing. Alright. Apparently the route is not yet known. We don't know that much about the ship yet either. A few places like the carpenter's shop, crew, surgery and captain's cargo. Alright, and we have the crew manifest, so Robert Witherell, Captain, William Hoscat, first mate, second mate, third mate, fourth mate, bosun, bosun's mate, surgeon, surgeon's mate, carpenter, carpenter's mate, cook, butcher, gunner, gunner's mate, and so on. Then we have some passengers, ship steward, captain steward, and so on, midshipman, topman, the kind of usual like seamen. Sketches of life at sea. Yeah, there are quite a few people here, so we can see different people involved in the sketches. performance and royalty. One wonders whether justice at sea. Alright. Someone is not having that such. And we can't actually see who is being executed apparently. Someone clearly in any case got in trouble. And then we have the first chapter proper, that is empty because we on the cargo deck. So we know where to look. That's all we know for now about the first chapter, because otherwise it's empty. So we know that we need to most probably visit the cargo deck to gain more knowledge in this respect. So then we of course try to find out more. The book appears useful. How do we return from reading the book? Glossary currently doesn't contain more than definitions of like things on ships. Currently the map doesn't seem to have any actual movements of the ship, so we have to most probably also find that out. Then it's a good question how we get out of the book. For now, apparently the end chapter says nothing. Outside the captain's quarters, inside the captain's quarters, so it tells us where the events take place. Tab, open, close book, that helps. Then we have the pocket watch. Yeah, that's fitting. And apparently we are now ready to once again explore the Obra Dinn. Alright, that didn't open. That did open, but that certainly didn't lead to any deck. It just led into a room. Alright, and here's another like cabin. So the next question is how to get below the deck. As it doesn't seem like we can achieve much on on top of the ship. It would appear. So let's see. We do have the slightly broken cage. Let's see, does it tell anything else about controls? View, space, action, E zoom, pause. Alright. So we do also have the action button, which seems to do nothing here. Alright, that we didn't notice earlier. So now we probably see then what was this man's fate.
Open the door!
Right.
Kick it in. Ah! Lest we break it down and take more than those shells! You bastard!
Sounds like a mutiny.
Exactly what I give you!
So he got shot. That's pretty clear. Looks like the captain's quarters is also quite a mess. And there was another man he was with. And he was wearing a hatchet, alright. The man was unarmed. So now we can add some things into the book, would imagine, though we should be alright. Now we know something about the ending chapter. So outside the captain's quarters there was the man that got shot. Good question, who was this? How did they die? And yes, there's the corpse, and this would be most probably our fine captain. Would think that guy would be the captain. Then we have the other person. All right. So we had the guy with the beard who got shot. So they would be most probably expired in general. They were quite clearly shot with the gun. The unknown attacker is kind of alright. This is more or less very complicated. Unknown enemy beast. Then we have unknown officer. Would think the fancy looking guy would be the captain because he was in the captain's quarters. So would at least currently put them as being shot with a gun by Captain Robert Fitterell. This game clearly is not a simple one. Ah, hello there, Briareos. You also get greetings on the big screen, of course. Hello, and we are trying to deduce the what happened on the East India Company ship Obra Dinn. This far we are just learning how complicated the game actually is. So welcome, and let's see if we succeed at all. So let's then continue with the game. Then there was the other person present. The corpse was kind of like outside the captain's quarters. Then we have the other person climbing the stairs. Who was also present. Right, and we can identify also them from the sketch. Does that tell us anything useful? 3 others were present. Actually also this man. Yeah, he was standing there upwards on the main deck. And doesn't seem there is anyone else present. At least to our ability to detect. All right. So that much we know. Towards the end of the voyage there clearly was some disagreement which led to him being shot. Let's see who this is.
Where are they? Must be in here someplace.
They're at the bottom of the sea.
That's a lie.
Alright, and then we have fighting going on in the captain's quarters. And this is again most probably our captain, considering his fancy hat, and now he's in turn. This would be one of those executing in the justice at sea, and he's apparently getting his throat slitted by the captain, so. That wouldn't quite constitute a decapitation, would more like put it as knifed, and again by our good captain. His presents, first he was standing next to the other guy in the situation where the captain shot the other man, and then in turn he slit the throat of this man, so clearly our captain doesn't look like great friend of the people. So, to wonder, like, doesn't look like very easy game at all to make progress in. So let's, for now we do know the others were present. Yes, Mr. Captain once again. Somehow do think that would be our good captain. That would be at least our current conjecture, and would consider him to be the captain. Let's see if we find out more. At least that would be our current conjecture, that would be the captain. And they were also trying to kill the captain. And here we again have this man. They are like coming down from the behind of the ship, still with the knife, so interesting. So there actually was one more person present in the overall scene, but they were coming from there. And here we have the earlier man who was shot. Is now dead. And his hatchet is here. This time there was nobody else on the and there's now the gates was hanging from here. Alright, unsure if that has any significance, but so alright, there's another corpse here, so let's see what they remember. And here's the man who died earlier, is now dead, bled out. And then we have Captain again, and now he's striking this man who came with the knife. He's getting struck on their head. So clearly Mr. Captain has been after the rest, like mutiny or whatever happened. Let's see if there's anyone else now here. So they arrived and Captain is striking them with the weapon that they got from the earlier assailant. Club, it sounds good this far, and again Mr. Captain. Interesting. And what happened outside the captain's quarters? There was someone in the cabin. Alright. So, on the way, and who would that be? There are some females as passengers on the underway sketch, so tough to say as they are not very visible. At least they were sleeping in the cabin apparently while the fighting was going on. Nobody here. Here we have the corpse. The cage is still here. Otherwise nothing going on this part of the ship. Alright. And here's our next corpse.
Abigail, your brother, my friend. I shot him dead. I'll be with you soon, my love. Please forgive me for everything.
Alright, and then the captain shoots himself. And here we still have the female. Alright. And here we have the earlier corpses. These guys we already know that they all expired. So now we know that kind of like the final. No one else was present, and Captain Robert Witherell didn't meet an unknown fate. It was clearly suicide gun. Captain Robert Witherell shot himself. This may or may not be correct. It's at least our first theory. Fates are validated in sets of 3. Correctly identify at least 3 people and their fates to have the information typeset into the book. Alright, but at least that's pretty good theory when we see our good captain addressing Abigail and then shooting themselves. And they did address Abigail, would imagine that the Abigail. So it would be captain's brother who the captain shot. So Abigail would be probably the one in the bed. So that should add some information into our overall conclusions. So that would appear quite reasonable. So if we know it was the captain's brother that got shot, that should be perusing the manifest should make it possible for us to conclude who that would have been. At least if it was captain's literal brother. So how our good viewers liking the game, it's quite would say interesting, and it looks old, and it's very calm pacing wise because it's practically only like deduction and looking into the memories of each. It would be very easy to solve all kinds of problems if one could just like that look into the others' memories even as still scenes, because then you could easily find out the truth and not like having to guess in that respect. So we do have probably a couple of other information now available if we browse the book, because the one who was shot should be captain's brother. It can't be the captain. So is there another Witterell? Abigail Hoskat Witterell. Alright, that would be very good choice here, because it's clear that we do. Then Abigail would be captain's brother as a passenger. Alright, unsure what kind of disagreement they would have had, but that looks like a plausible theory at this point. In general, I do like the style, how it does that you feel in the book as you find more about the memories of the former people on the ship. So let's then try and find out more. So we do have the female whose corpse probably still in the bed. Then we have the assailants. Nobody here. There was the female in the other cabin. Here we have again the captain's brother. Nobody up here. Can we find out anything else about Captain's suicide? Captain shoots himself, and here we have the female in the bed. All right. crosses mean? Then we have the dead lady here. That would be next part for our interest for sure. Alright, now this looks quite different. So she did get crushed in a attack of a tentacle monster, apparently. So this would be the lady. Not that everyone else is doing very well either. Let's try to find everyone who's present. This is again the familiar guy from the later fighting. That's someone quite foreign. Now let's see what we find out further. The doom, and then we find out that they were involved with the tentacles. The corpse was moved post-mortem, that's very true. Martin. Where is the captain? Have you lost your mind? Get back inside. I want my husband. Where is he? He's below deck. Come here. So our conclusion from this information would be that this is captain's wife. Oh, hello there, Gunsmith Jax and Solia. It's great to have you both here, and you certainly get greetings on the big screen as we are considering the secrets of the last voyage of the Obra Dinn. So, here we go, main screen, and welcome to you both to the stream. Very pleased to have you here. And we are still at least half an hour contemplating the mysteries of last voyage of Obra Dinn. Rather like this game. This will certainly continue during the nautical Gothic month. So thank you for joining, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of our stream. And let's return gradually towards the game. How has Jax been doing? It's a while since I've heard of you. So, very, very good to have you here, and hope to hear how you have been doing, of course. So let's then continue again with the game. So that would be the captain's wife. Let's see. Met an unknown fate. It's not really unknown. They were crushed by would say rigging. And then we practically have Seamen. These would be from Formosa. Seaman, seaman, seaman. Alright, so it most probably is not the captain's wife because there's no then when we consider we should be able to apparently, because their image is now sharp, we should be able to deduce their identity. Hopefully things improve for you then, and hopefully you have been able to help well still. And then we wonder about like what this would be, because he asked for Martin. So that would be the third mate. Rest are the crew, so it's only among the passengers who we had the Formosa and royalty, or at least claimed royalty, which was not the case. Then we have Jane Bird, Nunzia Pasqua, and Emily Jackson. At least yet do not really know who they would be, because like would imagine they would be the captain's wife, but we at least do not immediately. Right, so our good Formosan person looks very interesting. Unsure what the effect is supposed to mean. Alright, there's something shown out there. So we are guided here. This would be the original place of the There's the corpse of the Formosan man, apparently. Alright, they were apparently crushed. Yeah, that would be one of the men in the image. That would be the man with the rectangular hat again, and was anyone else present when they were mishandled by the beast? At least here we have this man with the spear. So this gives another page for the doom. So this would most probably be one of the Formosan persons, would imagine. They should also be identifiable as their crushed beast. Hard to say actually, like who they would be. At least yet do not have such a good idea. Quite a few other persons were present. Alright, and where are we guided next? Alright. Alright, there's some fighting again going on. And they were crushed apparently by the ropes. And here we again have this man before he got grabbed. This man we haven't seen before. Alright, he's clearly coming up with some more weaponry. Alright, pin the tires, hopefully not too hard work. Then we have the next scene where we fought, and this we can't identify yet. They also apparently got crushed, or would think that, like, unsure which idea would be the correct one, because they were more or less like strangled, not really by an attacker. That kind of at least comes close for now, because they were stuck on the ropes. So alright, so there's a man there. So it wasn't this man who died, but the other one apparently, and they had quite the explosive end. They were hard to say if they were crushed by the beast or killed by the explosion. Alright. All of these we already knew. Gauge is no longer attached there, because it's actually lying down here broken. Unsure how we can find out something about that. Should we like take the boat? The boat man is very patient as we are like running around the ship. Apparently we can't tell him to row over. Alright, let's then embark back into the Obra Dinn. Let's check our book out. On the gun deck, so yeah, we need to at some point find our way to the other decks also. These we can't identify yet. Alright. This we should be able to identify, but it's kind of confusing. Also, this we should be able to identify. Right, on the con deck would be an interesting location, so let's try to make our way to the con deck next. So, let's see then about how to get there. This would be yeah, it was this scene, so now there's something in the cage. Right. We apparently can't identify that. Looks unusual. Right. Right, we could enter the con deck. There probably thus is someone dead here. Alright. Killed by falling gun. Let's see what part of the story this is a part of. Happened here. Loose cannon, yes. And no wonder they died. Yeah, he's one of the men in the picture also. Yes, on the con deck. Alright, that's quite specific. Struck, hooves, tail, wing. So they were crushed by cannon. Yes, we can't identify them yet because they are still fuzzy. Are not a thing of interest. So here's another dead person. Let's see. The fuse. Yeah. They got actually shot by the cannon. This would be the same man we know from before. As would he, so they are some of the gunners clearly, as they do have equipment to man the guns. Alright, interesting. They do not look very Austrian. Interesting. For some reason they are thought of as identifiable, but would not totally agree. There was also somebody under the cannon. clearly gunnery didn't go totally right. Would be one of the seamen apparently. We again have. He has a hat, so he's a bit fancy, and we have the tentacle, so the tentacle moves the gun. There's this man again. He was also crushed, would say. Oh, kind of like complex question because he was crushed practically by the beast moving the cannon, but we can argue on that later. Here we again have this man that we should be apparently able to identify, but still find it kind of confusing. Alright, so gunnery didn't quite succeed. Alright, here's someone who consists of a few bits left. That must be quite more drastic fate, would say. Yeah, was also crushed by the ES. But they are not in the picture at all. But they are the artist apparently. Was anyone else present to witness the fate of the ES? Right, here we have that man, and he's apparently ignorant of, because from his position you can't really see. I don't think he's able to see what happened. And here on the gun deck we have people moving the other way. Yeah, so early on he got crushed and ES, so that kind of gives us pretty good guess that he would be Edward's brat, and he was also strangled by the beast would be our current way to put it. Alright, and here we have more people present. Alright, that corpse would be above this deck. Not much else of interest here, so let's climb. It looks like. Alright, here they are finding this man. Alright.
Let me on. Over my dead body, you bloody Dane.
Alright, they are clearly disagreeing. No cause for trouble, boys. Get in the boat.
You killed my brother.
You killed my brother.
That was an accident.
It was an accident, the ropes, so they have had some earlier disagreement.
I shouldn't have waited so long. Don't.
Alright, this is the man standing next to the apparently the gunner with the top hat, and he's getting clubbed by Alright, he's in the picture also. Is there anyone else present? There was still the thing in the gate, alright. So this is the beginning of the Doom. And how did they die? We know that they were clubbed by an unknown attacker. Appears not much else to see here, so would think they might be the New Guinean. Alright, yes. And how concluded that was simply that they had New Guinean looks. The kind of circle type tattoos. So we got 3 fates right. The captain shot themselves, and Edward Spratt was strangled by the beast, and the New Guinean person was killed by falling rigging. So we have gotten the first 3 fates right. And we have spent interesting research here, or more or less interesting time studying the case for a bit more even than our usual length. So there will be still another stream today with Fred. So to think that now that we solved the first 3 fates, we are going to, it is auto saved, so we are going to finish here for this game. So let's switch to the main screen, and thank you all for joining for some first session exploring what happened to the Obra Dinn, and that was certainly interesting nautical horror, one might say. So thank you all for joining, and let's see who we will raid. And of course, feel free to comment how you liked the game. So at least oneself liked the game a lot, so it will most probably stay in schedule for the special month, which of course lasts until approximately halfway into the next month calendar-wise, because we started approximately mid-month. So feel free to comment while we see who we will raid. Alright, and Solia visited earlier, and they are doing Lies of P, which appears some kind of somewhat steampunk themed game, and let's rate them. And of course they are doing some kind of very long birthday special. This one of course also joked that next time we have a next game for the series, it will be called The Truths of Q. So let's rate them this time and try to type with pause. Alright, did we get it right? Looks like it. Let's try. Yes, thank you all for joining, and hopefully you enjoyed the fate of finding out the fate of Obra Dinn this far. And see you later tonight. Be well.